Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about System.Threading.Timer. It's a class in System.Threading namespace and you basically use a timer whenever you want to execute certain operation on periodically. Mm, It could be anything like you want to update something per second, per minute or whatever it is. It can be a background service you want to run at some certain interval. In those kind of situations, you would like to use a timer which can trigger at that interval and execute your service or your method or your operation, whatever you want to do. So let's see how we can use it. So system dot threading dot timer, that's a class. We can create an object and let's see how can we do that. New timer, and there are five overloaded constructors. The first one is the delegate. Certainly we have seen lot of delegates when we created threads manually, thread start, parameterized thread start, and then we saw that in when we were queuing a work item into a thread pool dot queue user work item, and here we have a timer callback. So this timer callback, let's see its signature. This its signature is it returns void and it takes a parameter of type object. It's similar to the delegate parameterized thread start and also similar to the delegate which we used in when we use threadpool.queue user work item. So let's see, we can create a callback equal to new. We actually don't need to create this temporary object or this object timer callback. We can put the method name directly inside the constructor of timer, and then compiler will generate this variable and new up the timer callback. But I actually always try to to do it like this so that we know and we can see which type of callback it is. So now we have our print message method here, which returns void and takes a parameter of type object. It matches the signature of timer callback delegate, so we can put it here, print message like this, and then we can pass this timer callback into the constructor. And then we have created our timer. At this point, this timer will not run because we have not specified the interval when at which interval it should run, and we have not specified any due time. So if we try to run this, it will not, nothing will happen. We see no output. So let's see what we can do. The next parameter is the type of state. So we can pass some input as we were doing in queue user work item or when we created parameterized thread. That's the same. So here we can pass null for now. And then it's due time. Due time is the value in milliseconds. That means after the first occurrence of the timer will happen when your due time has expired, and after that the next one will be depending on your interval. So let's say we want to run it, we want to wait 2 seconds, and then we want to run it per second, every second, and we can print here something, a message like date time dot now, and let's run it. So the first will it will wait 2 seconds, and then after that it will run it. We can, let's say phone can be 16. Okay, it's running every second. The first one was 2 seconds. We don't see it. We can print here some things. We can print the time main and then we can say date time dot now main 13 31 27, so it's waited 2 seconds 29, and after that it's triggering executing per second. Yeah, that's how we can create, and we can see we can pass any parameter because it's a object. We can do whatever we like. We can pass a message msg hello from Bowie, and then this message goes here instead of null msg, and then we can print that message here msg, and then we will see it will print that message hello from Bowie. And that's the way we can give our callback method the input if we have any. Right. The next thing I want to talk about is that these threads which are executing this print message or this callback, they are actually coming from thread pool. They are thread pool threads, so they are by default background threads. And this is re-entrant. That means that if our print message takes more time than the interval, then we will get another thread which will execute this print message, and then we can see it if we wait here thread dot sleep. If we sleep here for 2 seconds, and then we can actually just print here like plus plus and minus minus, that means we are exiting this, quitting this method. So we are running every second, and this one is taking 2 seconds. That means it will be another thread which will come here. We can print the ID of the thread also just to see thread dot current thread dot manage thread ID like this, and then we can do the same here, and let's see. So we see thread number 4 came here, and then came the thread number 5. So it's not waiting until our method is finished. Our method is finished here minus minus 4, and so on and so forth. So that means timer callbacks are re-entrant. That means it will re-enter into your callback method if it's not finished. So if you have some synchronization issues, you have to be careful. But what we can do to avoid this, we can actually change at runtime the due time and this was the due time 2 seconds and the interval. What we can do, we can say then we just have to grab our timer variable, so we just move it outside our main method. Then we can say private static like this, and then we have the timer here. What we can say timer dot change, and it can be timeout dot infinite, which is the integer value like of -1. Timeout dot infinite, that means the callback will not run. Then we have stopped it, we can check it out. So it will run only once, and then it will just stop minus from the way, and then it will not run. So when we are finished, we have to enable this, and then we can enable like due time can be our 0, that it should happen immediately, and then the interval can be infinite. We don't want any, because it will run, it will come back immediately, but we want 1 second, so we can do 1 second, and then it should be coming per second. Waiting for 2 seconds, then it will come. Wait for 2 seconds, it will come. Wait for 2 seconds. Plus plus, like this. That's how we can control, we can synchronize. If we had some shared variables or s- here, it will be safe to do it. Yes, and what else we can talk about timers? Mm, we have seen how we can pass parameters, and it doesn't need to be a string. It can be anything. It can be any object, like we can have public class person, like int age, name, and if I create a new object here and pass new person, age equal to 38, name equals to Bowie, like this, and then it will be message. We can override to string, public override to string, and then it returns name and age, and then it will print your name and age, Bowie 38, like this. So you can pass here anything. It's an object, and object is the root class of all the classes in .NET. Yes, so this was our system.threading.timer. There are two other kinds of timers as well in .NET. One is system.timer and another one is system.windows.forms.timer, which runs on GUI thread. So in our future videos, we will be covering those two timers as well. But for now, just stay safe, be happy, and bye for now.